Welcome everyone, this is AnimeInspirations.com with your summer 2014 anime preview. Now this deals primarily with inspirational anime, which I will get into in just a second. The summer anime season starts July 2nd, but in terms of inspirational anime, actually starts about July 6th to July 8th. So keep that in mind. We have a lot of titles coming out, a lot of anime titles in general, but we only have about, if I can do math correctly, we have about 12 original series and a couple of OVAs and shorts that are coming out. Now moving on, you may be asking what is inspirational anime. Alright, our site actually has a definite definition, or a sort of, I don't know, wet paper towel definition, but regardless, I will go into detail describing what inspirational anime exactly is. Alright, so looking at this type of anime, we have a number of genres here. They are primarily slice of life, drama, romance, and sports. Now there are exceptions to this rule, but those are the main categories. So first off, this type of anime has more of a believable story, characters that you can relate to. Sometimes there are fantasy elements, but it is often justified. Now what that means is that the fantasy and the supernatural makes sense. Like there's merit to the title beyond, regardless of these elements. And as mentioned, these titles have merit and are often educational in nature. Now what that means is that, there's a greater purpose behind your viewing experience. Like we're not just watching a random nonsensical show that just for comedy. There's actually, you can learn something. Now some examples here of inspirational anime: Silver Spoon, the White Album series, and Terry Terry. Very excellent titles that I would definitely recommend seeing. Great all around, and they of course fit the definitions that I just outlined above. You may be asking now, what exactly is not inspirational? The very mainstream series in terms of anime go are often not inspirational. Some examples here: One Piece, D-Frag, Dragon Ball series, Bleach. There's nothing wrong with these titles per se, they're just not, they don't have the setting, the mood, the characters, the plot that lend itself to being an inspirational experience. So those are just some examples of anime that are not inspirational. As mentioned, many fighting anime, battle anime, futuristic settings, they just don't fit. So moving on here, I'm going to go into titles that the inspirational anime that are going to be debuting for next season. First off, we have, pardon my pronunciation here, Haru Ride. Just looking at the vibe and general setting that this title is giving off, I'm going to say that it is an inspirational title, very likely. Now it is classified as a Shoujo title, which means that it's geared towards young women, which is a demographic that is likely to appeal to. Now in the polar opposite field, we have Shounen anime, which is actually the primary demographic for anime, which is made to appeal to young men it can also appeal to older men, but that's the younger men is the main demographic there. Um, in terms of this title, however, it is a refreshing change of pace being a shoujo. Um, saying that as a guy, there's nothing wrong with watching shoujo anime. Nothing at all. I wouldn't be ashamed. Um, it gives you a different viewpoint, a different perspective. You're seeing things through the eyes of another gender, which is definitely a different experience. Um, back to the title at hand, we have the female main character here. She's trying to be as unladylike as possible in her new high school debut. Now, the reason for this is she's trying to escape the jealousy of her female friends. So this sheds important light on female relationships and the struggles that they often experience in a social environment. Um, as mentioned, very likely this is going to be an inspirational title. I would definitely check it out. Alright, so moving on, we have Glasslip. I assume it's pronounced like glass slipper. Don't ask me how they come up with these names, but that's the title. Just looking at things, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is very likely it's gonna be an inspirational title. That it's gonna have those merits and that purpose behind it that lends it to being an inspirational title. So Glasslip here. We have 6 friends. It's their final summer together. From what we have here is a balanced cast, which actually is very rare in the world of anime. Um, so, as I said, just looking at things, it looks like a very promising title. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Next, we have Barakamon. I believe, like I said, I don't know. I could be messing up the pronunciation big time. But here, inspirational, maybe. I don't know, to be honest. But here we have a calligrapher, which I believe is a person. It's an occupation that deals with writing symbols and maybe creating maps. I could be off on that. But anyways, this main character here, the series deals with his interactions with people on a remote island. I'm saying it's going to be more heavily on the comedy side, but we're just going to have to wait and see how it turns out. Next title, which, wow, I'm not even going to attempt to say this title, but it does have an English translation here, which is Normal High School Girls Tried Being Local Idiots. Yeah, that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but and funny, I guess, but that's the title. Now, inspirational, we really don't know. Maybe I'm putting maybe because it's a slice of life. It could be, despite of the comedy, be something that's inspirational. We really don't know, but I'm putting maybe. So now this is based on a 4-koma, which is it's a style of manga in Japan that deals with more gag comedies. So like I said, it could very well be more of a comedy. We just have to wait and see. Moving on, Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun. Alright, for this title here, I'm saying a maybe. We don't know. But anyways, this title deals with it. It's looking to be a romantic comedy. It deals with a mangaka. Now, a mangaka is a profession in Japan that deals with creating manga pretty much. Now, in the United States, we have comic book authors. In Japan, they have mangaka. So, they're artists, story makers sometimes. Um, but anyways, a lot of pretty much every anime that comes out is based on a manga. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Anyways, back to the premise of this story. We have the main character is a mangaka, as I mentioned, and he actually gets confessed to by this woman with the orange hair, I presume. Uh, so we actually had a title that debuted spring 2014 called Mangaka-san to Assistant-san, which this new title here, it gives a lot of the similar vibes, but I really think this title could have merit, unlike uh, Mangaka-san. Um, that's more of a harem, with all the different women character and girl characters introduced. It's more of a nonsensical harem. So that's an example of a title that is not inspirational. But this one here could be. We just don't know yet. Alright, so for the next title, Hana Yamata. Okay. Inspirational. Maybe, perhaps. But anyways, in Hana Yamata we have this young girl, I believe the purple-haired protagonist here. But anyway, she meets a mysterious fairy and learns the art of dance. Now, you may be asking, okay, this has some supernatural fantasy elements. It's not going to be an inspirational title. Well, we do have several titles with the supernatural, with the fantasy, but they still are inspirational anime. Some examples, we have Kokoro Connect, Kotura, San, that are inspirational. Despite of these elements, we just have to wait and see if Hana Yamata is going to be inspirational or not. I can't really tell you, but definitely something I'll be checking out to see if it is or not. Next title, Jinsei, which is right for this title. They have the main character who's not pictured here, but the main character who's a male. He's assigned to a newspaper staff column, life advice column, uh, and really that's all I can tell you about it. But it seems to have the general slice of life setting in the vibe that it could be, but whether or not it's going to turn into a nonsensical harem fest, I couldn't really tell you. So wait and see approach there as well. Alright, next title, Love Stage. Alright, okay. There's a slight chance, despite the creepy sort of image here, there's a slight chance it could be inspirational. We don't know. But anyways, with this title, we have Ryoma, the black-haired character here. He believes that Azumi, the blonde-haired character, grows up to be a girl. He thinks that this Azumi is a girl when he's actually a boy. He grows up with him thinking he's a girl. Um, I know that seems awfully unrealistic, and it probably is. But I'm saying again that it probably won't fit. But I'm not one to stereotype without giving it a chance. Maybe it has a vibe in the setting that lending itself to inspirational anime, but maybe not. Chances are it won't, but you don't really want to be calling your shots before trying something out, if you will. But again, probably not, but you know, we'll have to wait and see on that. Alright, Minarai Diva. And I probably butchered saying that, but this title here, okay, so apparently it's based on the Vocaloid music program, or the computer graphics Vocaloid software. I'm not exactly sure, but it deals with Vocaloid somehow, um, in terms of the art style and the graphics, um, which is an interesting take. It's a unique approach on the animation, but it's different. So I don't know how this one is going to turn out. So for now, I'm just going to say maybe inspirational. But basically, you have two divas here who want to become famous with their unique style of music. So it is of the music genre, which, you know, those titles tend to be, you know, on the safe side, you know, music and playing instruments and friendship. It also could be a sort of crazy type of comedy, so which would probably reject the title as being inspirational, but we'll have to see again. Next, Shounen Hollywood, a title I really don't know a lot about, but again, it is of the music genre. But here we have a boys' idol group here are developing their acting skills and talents in a fictional Tokyo-based setting. So it's got a little bit of historical vibes, you know, deals with music. Boys' idol group. There are a lot of girl idol groups in anime. Shows that are based off a girl idol group. So I guess it's a little bit of a different change here with the presumably all male cast, but again, we don't know if it's inspirational. We have to check it out to see. And that's part of the game, you know, which titles you can go into analysis saying, is this title going to be inspirational or not? That's one of the premises behind our site. In terms of Shounen Hollywood, it also has a subtitle, which is apparently Holly Stage for 49, which I have no idea what that means, but that's the subtitle. And we just have to wait and see here, but I will be checking this title out, see if it, seeing whether or not it has merit. And moving on here, we have the OVAs and shorts that are coming out for next season. Now these titles here are actually already on the inspirational anime list. Now what that means is they have that greater merit, that greater purpose behind them, that stories that you can relate to. So all three of these titles I definitely recommend watching and checking out. First title here, Non Biori. The girls with we have the purple-haired girl, the orange-haired girl, and that is a common cliche for all the different characters that have a different hair color, but you know, the reason for that is it helps you identify the characters, which I agree with, but I'm not gonna lie, you see it in practically every anime. But moving on, about non Biori, I definitely recommend it. It's very funny, but it also has those heartwarming moments, you know, hidden beneath, underneath the surface. There's those moments that that definitely inspire you, that may make you shed a tear. So now about what's coming out on this particular OVA, I really don't know. So regardless, I'll be watching it. I don't know what's on the OVA yet, but yeah. So next title here, Tamayura, More Aggressive OVA is also coming out, which I cannot say much about this title. I have not seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things. A lot of good things about this title. I'm definitely gonna, when I have time, I'm gonna go back and watch the first series. Finally, Encouragement of Climb, also known as Yama no Suzume, which is actually a short, not an OVA. Now, what a short is, it's as the name implies, it's not a full-length 22 to 24 minute series. It's actually more like, it could be anywhere from 7 minutes to 15 minutes. So the second season of Encouragement of Climb, which I unfortunately haven't seen, but it deals with a group of girls and their adventures when they're climbing mountains. I know that sounds really mundane and boring, but you'd be surprised that you'd be surprised. It's most likely a very heartwarming series, inspirational series. It's been recommended by my members, so uh, definitely check that one out as well. Alright guys, so that's all of the upcoming inspirational anime candidates for the summer 2014 season. Lot of interesting titles. I'm personally going to be checking out at least every title that was mentioned, trying to get a feel for it. Trying to discover if there's hidden merit and hidden purpose behind these titles. But I'm very excited for the upcoming season. As mentioned, July 6th, it could be July 8th, don't quote me on that one, when the inspirational anime start to debut. So keep that in mind. Alright guys, we do have a website which I've been, you may have missed it on every slide here at the bottom, but our website, if you like what we do, if you like our community and our purpose, check out our website, animeinspirations.com. We have community forums. If you have a second, why not register? I'll go into our promotions later on, but registration is free. You can join our small community right now. Hopefully it will grow, but regardless, I'll put in the necessary effort to hopefully one day be a large community. But for now, we're a very small, nicely closely knit community. Twitter now, our Twitter is at inspiringanime.com. I'll be honest, I don't exactly know how. I'm a Twitter noob, but I'm still learning exactly how Twitter works. I know they have hashtags that you can retweet. You can tweet and retweet, sort of like an RSS feed, but I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to Twitter. Regardless, you can tweet us at inspiring anime. Follow us, tweet us, retweet. Our Facebook page, facebook.com/anime-inspiration. There's no S here, so keep that in mind. Like us, like our Facebook page. It's very bare bones at the moment and probably outdated, but if you like what we do, please give us a like. And finally, subscribe. We will be having additional content coming out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/anime-inspiration. So please subscribe if you like our content, you like what we do. Alright, so as mentioned, please, if you like anime even the slightest bit, please join our community, register, join this discussion on our forums. Very small community right now, as I mentioned, but you know, we're hoping to get a few more members here in the future. We have this ongoing promotion. We're having a raffle for every 10 members that join our forums, up until 100 members. So right now we have a little under 30 members. So that means 30 members, 40 members, 50, all the way up to 100. We're holding this raffle. You have the opportunity to win a sweet gift card, $10 gift card, Amazon, PSN, Xbox Live, pretty much any gift card that you can think of. You have the opportunity to win. So that's a little bit of extra incentive for you to, bite the bullet. Even if you don't like anime, just want to win a gift card. That's fine. At least you're being honest. As I mentioned, we have podcast episode 1 coming out very soon. It deals with Boku wa Mina Kawaisu. Now, the English name for that is The Kawaii Complex Guide to Manners and Hostile Behavior. Very long title, but it's a series that debuted last season, actually. It seems like a nonsensical comedy at first, but actually, underneath the surface, it really has a lot of, interesting subtleties, I guess you could say. But anyways, our very first podcast episode, we'll be dealing with, Ri-chan and her dilemmas, what she's going through during episode 11. So it'll be a very interesting topic. As mentioned, it's going to be a similar format, but I'm still trying to find what is going to be the best sort of format for these podcasts. I really don't know. That's why I'm still experimenting, trying to see what works best. But anyways, be on the lookout for that first podcast episode. Definitely hitting sometime this week. As far as future plans go, it would be totally awesome to have a guest speaker come on, so I'm not just monologuing for 40 or 50 minutes. I would love to get a guest speaker. It doesn't, and I'm going to put it out there that our podcast episode 2, more likely than not, is going to be dealing with White Album 2. So if you have seen that anime, if you really like it, if you want to speak about White Album 2, contact me on the forum is probably your best bet. Twitter, even though I don't know how to use it, you can tweet. So, as I said, I would really like to get someone here in the future here to be a sort of guest panelist, I guess you could say. All you really need is Skype and a mic, and believe me, I'm a totally shy person in real life. Not saying that I'm not shy on the mic. I'm also shy on the mic, but if I had the opportunity to speak about anime in a sort of a chill environment, I would totally do it. So I wish I had that opportunity, but that's the main reason why I started things here, is because I didn't really have that opportunity. There was no outlets for where I could speak about anime in the sort of way that I wanted to. So, hopefully this sort of movement or endeavor, I think it has merit, and that's why I'm putting forth the effort to spread the word and get more people interested in anime, because it is a very niche. It's a very niche subject, definitely not mainstream, and I'm sure when you ask people like what television shows do you watch, and Like, I don't even bring people probably don't even bring up anime because it's like, what is that? Something from Japan? What? I have no idea what that is. But yeah, it would, you know, if anime would were to become more mainstream, that would be awesome. But I think it's fine the way it is. People like what know, they like what they like, and you know, I'm perfectly content. I don't care what other people think in terms of what TV shows you watch. I like what I enjoy, and people should really just do that, and not have any, not follow the bandwagon, so to speak. And in closing, guys, I know it's been a long 30 minutes, but we have one inspirational quote here, which is absolutely amazing. It's an amazing quote. Um, this quote now: "Love is when it isn't fun to be with that person. It's when nothing goes the way that you want. When you're not having fun and yet you still want to be with her." Absolutely amazing quote right there. Very, very true. Very true. And that's the quote. That quote in particular really highlights what it means to find true love, and you know the sort of mindset that you need to have when uh, during a long during the long haul of a relationship, like marriage, 10, 20 year 30 years or more down the line. You have to keep this quote, the mindset that this quote is presenting is absolutely phenomenal. um, it's just wow, absolutely amazing. uh, this is said by Tai Chi from the series Chihaya Furo, um, a series that it's an amazing series. It deals with I'm not going to get all into all of it right now, but it deals with the Karuta card game, which is it's a very high intensity card game based out of Japan. Um, the rule set is a little complex, and I could not even figure out what they were doing in that anime until I watched like all 25 episodes. So it's a very confusing sort of rule set. But after I watched those 25 episodes, I was deeply intrigued at this sort of sport that can get so athletic, sitting on a mat. But yeah, that quote is amazing, as I've repeated myself several times. Um, Definitely check out Chihaya Furo when you get a chance. Uh, so yeah, guys, that about wraps up this podcast. It's been a long 30 minutes. Be on the lookout for podcast episode 1 hitting very soon. Um, and if you'd like to partake in podcast episode 2, definitely send me a line, you know, on the forums, Twitter. It would make my day to get someone passionate about anime to really speak their mind. So, you know, even if you haven't watched White Album 2, it would be cool to get someone just, you know, to share something. I'm sure I could incorporate it some way or another into the podcast. So, it would be awesome to get somebody as a guest panelist. All right, guys. So that's our show. This has been Viseries signing out. Please check out our website, animeinspirations.com.